Hello, I'm Emmy. Welcome back to another Q&A session here on Theatre and Tonic. I hope you're doing well. Today we are really lucky to be joined by Sharan Phull, who is reprising her role of 𝗘𝗺 in the UK tour of Everybody's Talking About Jamie. So it's going to be a chat about reprising that role once again and talking about the amazing musical Everybody's Talking About Jamie, which is based on a true story and is also based on a BBC Three documentary that came out a few years ago. And it's quite an exciting time for this musical, as later this month it will be coming onto a film on Amazon Prime. So a really good opportunity for a show to show what it's got and why it's a really important message. So grab a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy a Q&A with Sharan Phull. Sharan, thank you for joining us today for a Q&A. I really appreciate it. So how does it feel to be reprising your role again in Everybody's Talking About Jamie?
I'm just so super excited. It's amazing to be back, especially with this amazing company. Honestly, it's the first day of rehearsals, the first show we did, the atmosphere was incredible. Everyone was buzzing, raring to go. And it's really lovely to be back with this character, and she's just got so many great qualities. She's just such a loyal friend to Jamie. She goes on her own journey throughout the show, so you get to see lots of different sides to her, which is really lovely. So yeah, I'm just absolutely loving being back. Yeah.
And obviously, for those who are not aware of your character, can you tell us a little bit about 𝗘𝗺?
So 𝗘𝗺 is Jamie's best friend in the show, and she's a confidant. She's like, as we say, like Jamie's cheerleader. She's his go-to person, and especially when he's finding himself and finding his voice and confidence. She's always there to lend an ear, to lend support, and they have a really great relationship that goes back years, so they know each other inside out. And what's really great is that as much as she helps Jamie throughout the show, he helps her to find her confidence, her inner voice, and which she's then able to share and takes her into the next phase of her life. So it's really, yeah, it's a really great relationship to play.
Absolutely. And obviously Jamie's kind of based on a true story, so was it kind of nice to have that development, because it is based on a true story, so is it nice to be part of that development of that story and what it's become?
Yeah. The thing that's so beautiful about this show is every single character you see on the stage is real. The essence of them is there. So every time any character steps on stage, the audience are getting that story from them. There's so much detail in the show, and that's it. They're based on real people. We want to project out what audiences that will be coming to see the show. That's exactly what the show's about. It's for everybody. It's a celebration of everyone.
Yeah, and it must be really nice as well to be part of a musical which is based around a British story, because we don't get them very often now, do we? So is that quite nice to be part of that kind of pull as well, for being about a British story?
Yeah, absolutely. It's and it's really nice to be taking it around the country, because you're reflecting real characters, real people, and you'll get those different responses in different cities, and it's got that truth to it that everybody has got on board with, and it's built up such a great following now as well, with the film coming out in a few weeks. So it's it's amazing to see how its popularity has grown, and the messages of it, which are so important, have gone on a wider scale.
And what drew you initially to the role in the show itself, for you personally?
As soon as I saw the show, I just it's exactly that. It's universal messages of overcoming adversity, being able to be who you are, having the freedom to be who you are, finding yourself. As soon as I saw it, the energy of the show is gorgeous. It's infectious, and I think that's what you can see with all the audiences that come as well. But there's real true heart to it, to everyone's story, and I think it's just such a beautiful story, and you go on a real journey throughout the show. And as soon as I saw the character of Pretty, I just absolutely fell in love with her as well, and the what she gets to say to Jamie through the songs of Spotlight and It Means Beautiful, which are just so gorgeously done, and all the songs in the show, everything is there for a reason, and it just all culminates together. And so as soon as I saw it, it just really resonated with me.
Absolutely. And what do you enjoy the most about this show, do you think?
I love that it's a show for everybody. It celebrates the joy and love and all the great things about togetherness. I really love the opening scene where the Year 11s come into the classroom of Mayfield School, and we go into Don't Even Know It. That energy and as soon as we go out there every night, it's just that kind of gets you going, and it gets the story started. Especially that scene where you see all of these characters come alive. And so, you know, as soon as you're on that journey, it's just amazing. So I love seeing that come alive every night.
And obviously, like you say, you've got an amazing cast for this one, and obviously you are performing alongside quite a powerhouse. You know, you've got Leighton. So what is it like to perform alongside him and kind of bring to life that relationship between Jamie and Pretty with him?
Oh, it's just, I mean, as soon as we're in the rehearsal room, Leighton is just amazing to play opposite. You know, and especially with the relationship that the two characters have, it's so they bounce off each other, and it's just so easy. It just kind of came out, and we continue to play with that as well, which is really fun. So it's just yeah, because they have that. There's really lovely dialogue between them, and then especially and later on where you get more of an intimate scene about Pretty supporting him and trying to convince him that, you know, to get out there and be himself. It's just, yeah, just to play opposite someone like that, it's just a joy. Yeah.
And I mean, Leighton, and like you say, I think Leighton is he's hilarious anyway. So have you had any kind of funny moments with him during rehearsals or in the shows?
Yeah, we're always playing about in the Spotlight scene. You know, we'll kind of play about with the during the song with different blocking and different things, and have little jokes and within, which makes it, you know, which makes it come alive even more, which is really fun. Yeah,
and I guess it makes it more natural as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So has it been different working on the show the second time round, because obviously with all of the COVID guidelines, things like that, have you found it difficult or a bit more challenging this time round?
It is. I think it's become such a normal part of everyone's lives now, that we just have to, you know, do as much as we can to be as careful as we can. There's little like subtle references to in the show, within the show as well, and I think it's just that it's weaved in really nicely because that's what it is. We kind of just have to live with it now, and obviously being as careful as possible. We want the show to continue and continue sharing it with as many people as possible, and it being, so we finished, actually it would be really lovely to come back to Birmingham, because it was where we closed when in the first lockdown, so to go back there, just kind of coming round full circle again, it's just, I mean, it's been such a long time, so we just want to make sure that we keep that going and being able to share with as many people as possible.
Do you feel anxious about it though? Do you ever worry about, you know, the show closing again? Because I guess it's kind of in the back of your mind every now and again about it.
I think we're all being as careful as we can, wearing masks wherever we can, and we've got lots of things in place to make sure that we're staying as safe as possible and keeping everyone as safe as possible. So on that side of things, it's nice to know that we've all got each other's backs and we're looking after each other. So yeah, hope it continues to
absolutely. So have you changed the way you portray Pretty this time around, do you think, or have you kind of tried to keep it the same?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a different approach to her. I think I'm always finding new things about her because there's so much within the script and the writing to play with. And I feel like I know the character a lot more now. She's just, you know, she's just there. So I always, and I think as well with everyone, what's gone on in the pandemic is that everyone's just so much more grateful. Not that we're always appreciative of what we do, but just so grateful to be able to get out there every day and to be with a live audience and to be with each other. That it's you know, everyone's really grounded in that and just cherishes it a lot more. So I think that feeds in as well into the message of love and being with each other, which the show has anyway, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously the show is based within like a high school. So do you see yourself as a teenager in any of the other characters?
I mean, it's funny because there's elements of how all the year 11s and how they play their characters are just they're just excellently done. They're so clear, there's so much to them, and so everyone's got a little bit of everyone in them, I think. And there's definitely, I see a lot of myself in Pretty, and kind of, you know, bringing those out again, and it takes you back to, you know, studying for GCSEs and trying to cram in revision and finish off coursework and the stress of all that, and not knowing what you're going to do, but it being a really exciting time because there's so many opportunities. So yeah, there's a lot in that. So it takes me back to school days.
And then you're like, oh, phew, no more GCSEs. That's right.
More exams.
Yeah. So obviously, like you say, there's a lot of important messages in the show. What would you say is one of the most important messages for you from the show?
For me, I would say, for the character, I would say it's having the courage to have your own voice and to show it and to let it be established and to go for, because what's really lovely is she has an inner confidence, and she's so set on what she wants to do. She wants to become a doctor. She's got a really lovely energy to her and a quiet confidence to her, but her resilience and kind of, you know, which you catch glimpses of later in the show, and you see her become this person, and it just kind of, you know, it lets her, you just see her evolve in a really lovely way. So I think that is finding and having the freedom to have your own voice, I think.
Yeah, it's a really lovely show, like you say, and I think the important messages are kind of, they're so cleverly portrayed, you know, whether it's from the music or the script, it's always there, you know, and there's different layers to it, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously it's a really exciting time for the show as well, because obviously you've got the film coming up, which I think is a really nice transition from the show now to that. So how do you feel about the film coming out, and have you seen it yet? Have you seen any advanced screenings? And if you have, what do you think?
Yeah, oh my goodness, I cannot wait for it to be shared, because a few of us saw it a few weeks ago, and it's just so gorgeous. Yeah, you'll just fall in love with the characters and how it's done. It's so beautiful. It's got all the lovely detail. a beautiful story in there. So yeah, it will be fantastic to get it out. Yeah.
And do you think it will definitely, I mean, I think it definitely will, but do you think it will attract new audiences to come see the show from watching that film?
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice that it's when it's being shared on that wider scale, you'll get people who, you know, there's new audiences coming every time to every venue we go to, people who've never seen the show before. Obviously you get fans of the show coming, but you'll gather new following as well, which is great, because it's messages, you know, it's lovely for it to have that reach.
Absolutely. And what do you hope people will take from seeing the show?
There's a real zest for life in the show, and it's also a story of acceptance, and of just celebrating people and who they are, and yeah, and so I hope that they take that you know, what we put out there are our hearts every night, you know, which we hope come across. So I hope that's, you know, that's what people can garner from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, like you're saying, Pretty's character is very much a very strong influence on Jamie. You know, she's that confident. So was there anyone for you as a biggest influence when you were at school and growing up?
Oh, that's a great question. I had some really great female role models. I went to an all-girls school as well, so that you know, grateful enough to have lots of teachers who would push us to challenge ourselves and you know, not be held back by anything, and to go, you know, to go forward and find opportunities. And my mum as well, you know, like my mum is a huge role model in my life, of again, just that super supportive, which Pretty is to Jamie, you know, being there for him, and also, you know, just going after what you want, and having that confidence to know yourself and to know you're on the right path. I think I've got lots of amazing role models.
Yeah, I think it's one of those shows that definitely makes me think about it. It makes me reflect on those people, and I'll go, you know, yeah, oh God, yeah, I remember that person. That was for me when I was at school. You know, who was that person that pushed me to do what I want to do? It's a really nice, it has a really nice reflective tool in there, I think, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
So what is your favourite moment in the show, and do you have a favourite song? I'm going to put you on the spot with a song.
So aside from the of this like dreamlike sequence and don't even know it, where we're just all super high energy and just great fun, I love It Means Beautiful and that scene, because it's so intimate, and you see these two friends who are, you know, about to leave school and into the next phase of their life, and you know, with Jamie having come out of a quite a difficult scene just before, and you know, Pretty tried to calm him down and being there for him. And I think it's so gorgeously done, and the music and the guitar and the sound of it is just a really lovely moment between the two of them. I also really love work of art. I watch it on the side of the stage a lot, and I'm just amazed with all of them. They're just so excellent, and it's such a great turning point and a pinnacle moment for Jamie, where he just owns it. So yeah, that is a beautiful moment as well.
To be fair, the whole soundtrack is just amazing. But like Out of the Darkness, there's something about that song, but it was all I listened to during lockdown. And when they announced it was like opening theatres again, it used to make me cry. I think it was like that Out of the Darkness. I don't know what it was, but it was like that. Oh God, yeah, we are coming back into like the theatre and stuff, and it used to literally make me cry. So when I watch the show, I don't know how I'm going to get through it.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's so warm and it's a culmination of the whole show by that point. So it's just it's gorgeous song.
Absolutely. Yeah. So final question, why should people come and see Jamie when it hits Birmingham?
I think it's such a great celebration of life. It's life affirming. It's, I think everyone who comes will see a reflection of themselves on that stage, which is so important. And you'll come away with it with such a warmness, a love, and it just gives people a zest for life. And here we are. Let's be together.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today, Sharan. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you reprise this role and kind of just see that relationship between you and Leighton in the show really build.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.